Good afternoon. Welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. The acting governor, Charles Livingston, officially installed the last ordinary session of the Departmental Duma.
While the last ordinary session of the Assembly was officially installed, the acting governor, Charles Livingston, announced that 3 fundamental projects will be presented in the remaining months of the year: the tax statute, the draft ordinance for the 2023 budget, and the transfer for the construction of vaults in the Harmony Hall Hill Cemetery. About the latter, the official addressed the Duma.
Today, the vaults in San Andres are scarce. We have installed an incinerator oven, but our culture is a little bit at odds with the oven. In spite of that, more than 10 bodies have been incinerated in other cemeteries. In other cemeteries, there is a little space on the island and they are private. We ask the Duma to study the project if they see fit, because it is fundamental for our department.
On the other hand, the acting governor asked a little about the tax statute before the honorable deputies, highlighting its importance for the department's economy.
Today, island families are in more economic trouble than in 2019 and 2020, and the departmental government, with the works it is initiating, aims to move the chain of the island economy so that households can get more resources. We recognize the high cost of living on the island. That depends on many factors. World production has fallen. There are difficulties in the global transport of goods, and San Andres has not been oblivious to that. But between the departmental government, the Assembly, and the community, we have to join forces to work together to move San Andres forward.
Tomorrow, October the 4th, the Duma will travel to Providence to attend the public hearing scheduled by the 7th Commission of the Senate on the progress and challenge of the recovery of a territorial entity after the event of Iota, where the Ministry of Housing, the National Comptroller General's Office, and members of the departmental administration will also attend.
As a result of the latest criminal acts in which an innocent minor was injured in the sector of Santana, and in another isolated case a man was murdered, the authorities are reinforcing investigations in order to clarify the incidents in the shortest time possible.
The National Police work together with the different authorities in order to clarify all the criminal acts that occur in the department, which has allowed the seizure of firearms and arrest by court order.
Seguimos interviniendo de manera oportuna en algunos de los.
We continue to intervene in a timely manner in the sectors that require it due to their criminal behavior. We have continued to develop prevention activities, and in the framework of this, we have achieved seizures of firearms and arrests by court order focused on homicide, which has allowed us to clarify the incidents that have occurred so far this year, but also we have had particular situations.
After the events that occurred in the Santana neighborhood, where an innocent minor was wounded with a firearm, Colonel Doris Edith Monsalva refers to the investigations that are being carried out to clarify this incident.
We had a situation in Santana where unfortunately a minor was affected who had nothing to do with the situation, and we are implementing the deployment in coordination with the prosecutor's office. We have really done an important work of information gathering and development of evidence that can clarify the incident, in which we have done a work, as we referred, important. With the collection of information, we were able to obtain the participation of 2 people who were eyewitnesses of the incident. We have also made an important use of camera management of all these things, of the information from citizens, and that is to say that we have made a mechanism of collection of evidentiary material.
Regarding the events that occurred on Newval Avenue, where a man of Honduran nationality was murdered, the National Police have already made progress in the investigation and clarified that this man was not on the island as a tourist.
No estaba en condición de turista en la isla. Estamos tratando.
He was not a tourist. We are trying to clarify what activity he was engaged in here on the island. In spite of the situations that have arisen, there are also some results. Being able to clarify the homicides, being able to capture these people outside the law, because in some way they are helping us in the whole process of attending and counteracting all these criminal acts.
In conclusion, the authorities expect to give results in the shortest possible time and thus put behind bars those allegedly responsible for the criminal acts occurred in the department.
The International Tourism Fair of Latin America continues in the city of Buenos Aires, Argentina, where a delegation from the archipelago seeks to position the islands as an international destination.
The archipelago of San Andres, through the Colombian stand, is present at the International Tourism Fair of Latin America FIT 2022, held in the city of Buenos Aires, Argentina. The participation of the islands in this showcase will allow for better positioning of the destination internationally, attracting more visitors. The Secretary of the Tourism Office, who is in the South American country, gave details.
The island of San Andres is participating in the FIT Fair in Argentina, which runs from the 1st to the 4th of October. The first 2 days we saw the attendance of the general public was open to all the people of Argentina who came to ask questions and clarify any doubts. Argentina is a very important market for us. It was part of the top 5 of our international markets, but it has dropped a little. We are working on recovering the connectivity of the Argentinian who is coming to Cartagena again to return to San Andres, because the best-selling multi-destination in the country was Cartagena-San Andres destination. However, due to the loss of frequency of certain airlines that come from here, it has come difficult to regain the level it had before for people from South America. So we are seeing that there are people leaving directly from Brazil. They will open flights from Sao Paulo to Cartagena. Avianca will work on some routes that will reach Cartagena, but we need to work with the national government.
This October 3 and 4, the International Tourism Fair of Latin America will be open to travel agencies, tour operators, and airlines. During these days, the archipelago delegation, composed of the departmental government, the Mayor's Office of All Providence, Cotelco, and restaurant associations, will seek to establish alliances to sell plans with destinations in South America where the islands are included.
There was water shortage in the departmental hospital, and in face of the fact, the manager of the departmental hospital argumented the reason and extended apologies to the community and the medical personnel of the island.
In response to the water shortage at the hospital, the manager of the departmental SSE said that the problem was caused by the company that provides the vital liquid service. She also indicated that despite the effort and support of the public first that brought tanker trucks, it was not enough to meet the need for water in the hospital.
El día de ayer tuvimos desabastecimiento de agua.
Yesterday, we had a shortage of water all day at the hospital, causing inconveniences for patients and medical personnel who work at the institution. This happened because the company that supplies the water had problems with the pumping, so the tanker trucks could not reach the institution. We were supported by the police and also by the Risk Management Unit and the Public Utilities Secretariat, but the cistern is so big that we were not able to start pumping. We had to wait until the evening so that Veolia could start the supply by connecting from another source to attend to the emergency.
Finally, the official apologized on behalf of the departmental SSE to the users and institutional staff of the hospital.
Para ofrecer nuevamente disculpas.
I take this opportunity to apologize to the users and also to the medical staff for the inconveniences that occurred, where we had to cover by bringing up water bottles, since the idea is to provide a service in optimal conditions.
Show denied the water service was completely restored in the departmental hospital.
In other news, in a military ceremony presided over by Captain Octavio Gutierrez Herrera, commander of the Specific Command of San Andres and Providence, over the weekend, the promotion of non-commissioned officers of the Colombian Navy attached to the Marine Infantry Battalion and the naval base took place.
A vote of confidence from the Naval Command was given to the non-commissioned officers of the National Navy attached to the Marine Infantry Battalion and Naval Base during the promotion ceremony. The promotion was given to the crew members who meet the requirements to acquire their new ships. Likewise, the flag of the Naval Base ARC San Andres received the Medal of Distinguished Services of the Naval Aviation. On the other hand, officers of the non-commissioned officer were decorated by military medals and the highest decoration of the Archipelago Department, the Medal Seafloor Biosphere Reserve.
The departmental government in recent days nominated the official candidate that will represent the islands in the National Beauty Pageant 2022-2023.
Brithale de Avila Boy, accompanied by family, friends, and the Beauty Corporation, received the sash of the department given by Governor Everett Hawkins to represent the islands in the National Beauty Pageant. Teleislas News dialogue with the young Raisal, who is a 7th semester student of administrative engineering, about her expectations of her participation in the beauty contest.
I go into the Concurso Nacional de la Belleza and I want to show Colombia and the whole world say San Andres is more than a sea, it's custom, tradition, and Raisal women's pretty women's.
The departmental government ratifies its commitment and support to the young island girl who will have the task of highlighting the traditions and culture of the island territory, not only through her beauty, but also through her knowledge and skills that can be seen in the contest.
Our regional channel Teleislas will be part of a new proposal that seeks to exalt the country's tourist diversity through a journey that they can enjoy from their homes. It is the first docu-reality on sustainable tourism in which the 8 regional channels participate, called Ruta Colombia. If you want to know more details and participate, go to www.rutaporcolombia.com and fill out the form. And now let's get to know other facts that today are making news in our brief news section.
In the facilities of the Carolina Environmental Corporation, the Interinstitutional Anti-Noise Committee met in order to define strategies to control noise in different sectors of the island, especially those with greater tourist influx. At the meeting, sanctioning measures were defined for violators who exceeded the permitted volume, which is stipulated at 65 decibels during the day and 55 at night. The Carolina team will constantly perform measurements with the sound level meter, and awareness will be initiated in the sites with the highest noise reports. The management of the pedestrian walkway, in coordination with the National Police and Carolina, met with the associations that are on the beaches of Sprat Bight to provide support throughout the process of identification, registration, and design of uniforms to establish a distinction and ensure a higher quality service for visitors as well as the police, as they said that they are working to raise awareness about the importance of civility in the pedestrian walkway and the non-use of car speakers. Authorities of the archipelago ratified the closed season for the capture of queen kongs in San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina. It is active from June 1st until October 31st, 2022, according to the provisions of Resolution 00179 of 1995. For this reason, fisheries inspectors will continue to conduct monitoring, control, and surveillance activities to marketers and fishery companies, hotels, supermarkets, stores, restaurants, and fish products outlets, remembering that at this time the capture, marketing, and consumption of queen kongs are prohibited.
With this information, we reach to the end of our broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more Teleislas News. Good afternoon.